with that. I just think it's funny.
One more.
Boom! We are live. Gentlemen, we have a massive studio update to provide to our audience, don't we?
Yeah.
How we do. Take us away.
Dylan, please take us away. I know you had a lot of things to talk
No,
about.
I said you first.
The Cyberpunk studio that you wanted to talk about.
So CD Projekt Red is going
Oh, that studio.
out of business.
Wow.
They're not. They this isn't. I just brought it up right before we started. They announced that there's going to be another update for Cyberpunk, and since we're the Cyberpunk podcast, I figured we should talk about it.
Wow, what are they updating?
We
They
can't
haven't
possibly
announced.
generate real content.
Wait. Oh my God! Did they announce that they're about to announce an update?
No, they announced that there's I think it's 2.7 is coming. But what's in 2.7?
A lead into their next game.
Who knows?
Little tease.
Who knows?
What do you want? One more dialogue option to get you to play.
I
another
honestly
playthrough?
think it's like I don't need New Game Plus would be
There
amazing.
would probably, I was just going to say, there'd be nothing about an update for that game right now that would get me hyped except for a New Game Plus. Anything else would be like, oh, that's cool, but like nothing would get me to go be like, I got to go back and play it right now.
Right now.
Because I've done a lot of playthroughs of
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. It would take something beyond crazy to get me to go back right now.
I'll check right now, see if there's any update.
Give us an update on the proposed update that they're about to update everyone on.
Yeah.
That's what we need in our life.
I was saying before we started, but I'm excited for the James Bond game.
Talk to us about that because I haven't seen anything about
So
that.
all I know so far is apparently it's developed by the same people that have done the Hitman series, but it's also being published or produced or whatever by Amazon and MGM Studios. Apparently, I don't know if they're the same thing now, but they're the ones that put the money up front for it. It's a completely original. Not original. It's still based on the books, but it has nothing to do with the movies. It's not like it's a Daniel Craig or whatever up there. And it's like an origin story. It's like a young guy, and the whole game, I guess, is how he becomes James Bond.
Is it third
he's
person,
not-
first person?
It's third person. He's not like a 00 agent at this point. He's just like a reckless but highly effective badass. That he's like 30 years old or whatever, and he's being evaluated by like the 00 program to see if he's eligible.
He's 002 right now.
He's not
Working
any
his way up.
00. He's at this point he's literally just James Bond. He's not
Okay.
any. There's no call sign, no nothing. And it looks like, because I love James Bond, I love those movies. And it looks like it'd be a lot of fun. It's looks like it's got like Uncharted vibes to it. Definitely some Hitman vibes.
There's car chases.
There's car chase. It's like anything that you'd want out of a James Bond movie. It looks like it's in this game.
There's like secret agent tools. So it's not like that realistic James Bond. There's like a watch that. What's the watch do? Sets off.
He clicked the watch when he's like talking to Q, and then like it made like fire shoot out of the back of his motorcycle, and he's like, you shouldn't have, or something,
Yeah.
like. So it's got like that
Kingsman
kind of
vibes.
It's like got Kingsman vibes, which Kingsman is inspired. It's more of like an over the top James
Yeah.
Bond.
Which it was the older James Bond.
Yeah,
Like
so
Sean
that's
Connery.
that's what it right now. That's what it feels like, and this is like something that probably won't mean anything to you guys, but James Bond is finally depicted book accurate. He looks the way he's described in the book. He has a
Oh.
scar on his cheek.
So he's not this devilishly handsome.
Yeah, he's
guy.
he's like a rugged, handsome dude because he still has to be able to like seduce women and whatever.
Yeah.
But in the books, he's got like brown hair, kind of a rugged look, blue eyes or whatever, and he's got a scar on his cheek that goes pretty much from his eye almost to his jaw right there. And he actually has that in the game, and they don't make any mention of it because it's just whatever. But a lot of people, like fans of James Bond, are like, "Oh my God, it's actually a book accurate James Bond."
So is it? Was James Bond always based on a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were books
Even
before they
like
were
in the
movies.
50s and stuff when they were coming out with
Yeah.
these movies, like they were always based on books, huh?
The guy who wrote it too was an actual
Ian Fleming.
Ian Fleming. There's rumors that he was actually
oh, okay.
an agent.
This looks like a young lad.
James Bond book release. First one was Casino Royale, the book, and it came out April 13th, 1953.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they were books before they were movies.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
the books, obviously, it's the 50s, so the background and the settings is different. But the books were always much more in line with how they took it with like Daniel Craig's version.
How many books are there, Kyle? Do you know?
Like
Because
Not
did
off the
they
top of my
go
head, no.
off,
I was gonna say, is
off
every-
kilter with
most
like,
of them
Octopussy?
yeah. Well, so
Is that the one that detoured it?
Roger Moore contributed a lot to the campiness of James Bond, but they're more like there's definitely movies that are original that aren't like
From the books?
aren't from the books. But I know Casino Royale is a book. What else? Let's see.
Casino Royale, Live and Let Die, Moonraker, Diamonds Are Forever.
From Russia with Love, Dr. No, Goldfinger, For Your Eyes Only, Thunderball, The Spy Who Loved Me, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, You Only Live Twice, The Man with the Golden Gun, Octopussy,
Octopussy is
and
one.
The Living Daylights. Yeah.
Dang.
So the Casino Royale, but like pretty much everything after Casino Royale is like original as far as Daniel Craig goes.
Wow, there's licensed. Oh my God, there's a ton. They could. Oh, but now there's like different authors. John Gardner wrote Goldeneye, so it wasn't Ian Fleming.
Maybe not originally.
Ian Fleming, he wrote. I'm going through it right now, seeing. He wrote.
So yes, there's a lot that are based on the books, but a lot of original stories as well.
Damn.
Jeez, he wrote a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's the author. The James Bond dossier is when it kind of switched over to Kingsley Amis.
Kingsley Amis.
Don't know
What a
who
name.
that is.
What a badass name.
Kingsley.
So they're based on a series of books, but then at some point focus more on I would say the movies are more popular than the book series, but if
At
they
this
made
point in
that
time,
movie-
yeah, 100%.
yeah. It's probably like a brand that they can, all those different authors, they can buy the rights to the James Bond name and then just make a spy.
It's like James Bond is one of those
Book.
series that just like they can constantly just reboot and there doesn't have to be
Recast,
any
yeah.
continuity and they just keep going. They'll just keep going forever. I mean,
It's the original Fast and Furious.
yeah, it's like that's almost the charm of it is
Yeah.
you get a new James Bond every 10 years or whatever and you get excited about who it's going to be, and then you wait to see if they live up to the hype.
Weren't they thinking of having this one being a woman?
Yeah,
And
there's
there
always
these
talks
rumors.
about that, but I would like to see. I mean, if like whoever the next one's going to be, because Daniel Craig's officially done, he's killed off. His James Bond's
Nah,
over.
yeah.
I would like to see someone pretty young do it, so that they can do the role for a long time.
Do you have any actors picked out?
As far as like British guys go,
Yeah.
obviously everyone always likes the idea of Henry Cavill, but like at this point it's almost like a meme that everyone wants him for everything.
He's too busy.
But he's got like the perfect kind of look
Yeah.
of James Bond. You know what I mean?
I think he's like all in on the Warhammer stuff right
yeah,
now.
he's all in on that.
Which they're trying to set that up to be its own cinematic universe, like the MCU. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I like Charlie Hunnam. He'd be cool.
What about
Um,
Taron Egerton?
I don't know about that. I'm not a huge fan of that guy, to be honest with
I
you.
mean, the only reason people say it is because he's Kingsman.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I'd like him as a Wolverine. I feel like he would be good as Wolverine. He's kind of a little bit shorter guy. Looks like he could wreck shit. I also think I forget his name. He's the guy from he was on Game of Thrones, but also he played Icarus in the Eternals.
Yeah. I know.
oh,
That guy would be good too, I think.
One of the guys from the north. What the hell is their last name? Something.
Starks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Stark.
I forget that actor's name.
Pedro
but-
Pascal.
No.
Not Pedro Pascal.
Fuck that.
As 007.
Dude, okay, can we talk about that? Was there anything that you wanted to wrap up
No,
on?
just saying I'm excited. I can't wait to see what this becomes. I'll probably be playing it.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Did you play GoldenEye as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played the remaster on the Wii. And I thought
On
that,
the Wii, wow.
yeah, they released GoldenEye remastered on the Wii and with Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan, and it was actually hella good.
So like the last thing I'll say on it is I have hope that it's going to be good, or like it gives me hope that it's made by the Hitman company, because I think they have the right amount of like wackiness that James Bond, like, yes, it can be serious, but it's also a little like weird at times, with the watch that does stuff. And then, and GoldenEye had those kind of gadgets. And so I think that out of all the developers I've seen, they have the most experience
Having fun with that.
Yeah, having fun with it, which in my opinion, depending on the James Bond, you want to kind of do. You want to have fun with it. Real
I
quick,
think there's one last point I want to make. I like things like John Wick and the Bourne series and things like that, but I do think that action films have lost a little bit of their charm when it comes to, because they've all got on this train of being like hyper realistic and gritty, and like every now and then, like I do kind of miss the days of like just like Arnold Schwarzenegger just being crazy and killing people and just like comedically
unstoppable.
Yeah, like Rambo, and like stuff like that doesn't really exist anymore. It like just campy action heroes. And I do think that there is a place for that every now and then. Like I'm all for like your gritty action movies, but I like kind of the fun.
Well, and even the
stuff
campy
too.
ones now they're still really gritty. Like if you think of like Silent Night.
Yeah, even the campy ones are like gritty.
It's campy, but it's gory. Santa has a sledgehammer and he's fucking bad guys up. But one more thing before we go to yours, Billy. There's no announcement of what is in the update for Cyberpunk.
Oh, I was waiting with bated breath on that
So we
one.
have to continue to wait for the announcement to be announced for the 2.7 announcement.
2.4, I was wrong.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
But people thought they were done.
We missed 0.3 updates from... What is
They're
going
not
on with
done.
CD Projekt?
What is? But what were you going to say? Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, can we talk about
How
that
is it
whole film?
everything?
That whole film with, what the hell, Fantastic Four?
What about it?
I feel like they're a little bit scrambling because I don't know what, maybe what's your take on this? Because you guys, obviously, that's a beloved franchise for you guys. But I keep seeing them like drip feeding and leaking certain film footage.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more than what we normally get. And I think it's because of the reaction. Well, so let me set up this argument actually, and I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are. I just read that Thunderbolts is going to lose about $200 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because seemingly everybody who went to see it enjoyed it. At least that was the reaction that I read online. People were like, "Oh, that was fun. I liked
Kind
it."
of classic Marvel.
Yeah,
What they're saying.
but it's going to lose $200 million, and they can't afford like one more bad loss. If you lose money with Fantastic Four, I don't know what the state of MCU is, honestly.
Yeah.
And because this is supposed to be this is after Kang, right? This is going to hopefully set up the whole next arc, right?
Well, Kang's done. They're not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
exploring that,
They lost Kang. They couldn't go with that route anymore. I think Fantastic Four is the next big arc that they're going to be going down. So, I think they're like dripping. I don't know what their plan is, but I feel like we're getting these weird leaks that are not so much like the trailer that we're starting to see to like get people excited about going to see this movie. I don't know what your guys' opinion is on that, but or if you are you excited as Kyle as an anti-Marvel fan for the last 2 years?
I hate Marvel.
What's your vibe on that? Like, are you seeing this in theaters? That's the vibe check. That
I haven't
think we
seen a
should
Marvel movie in theaters in a very, very long time.
have.
Actually.
Is this the one that brings you back?
I don't know. I love the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
But I'm not particularly like. I'm still not 100% thrilled with the casting.
I agree.
And Marvel hasn't quite earned that kind of that hype from me that they used to. And I think it was inevitable that no matter what Thunderbolts did, it wasn't going to make any money because they've lost so much goodwill over the years. So I'm tentatively excited for it because Thunderbolts was, by all accounts, was very good. And I do like the Fantastic Four, but I wouldn't say that I'm like, it's not like a day one there for me. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to go to the movies for it. But it looks, other than the fact that I'm still not sold on Pedro Pascal, it looks like it would be a lot of fun so far. Like there's nothing about the trailers that have made me worried per se. Like, and I haven't really actually read any of these leaks or anything. I don't know anything about this
Well, your one criticism was that the aesthetic. You didn't feel like the aesthetic fit the vibe.
The aesthetic, originally I was trying to figure out how they were setting it up, and then now I realize it's in an alternate universe, and somehow at the end of this movie is what's going to bring them into the MCU. Something's going to happen. I felt it was a little jarring to go from like Thunderbolts to this, where it's like a kind of a alternate, like it looks like the
Retro
60s
vibe.
idea of the future, like the Jetsons or something, but like I can forgive a lot of things, like what I mean by that is I could probably get into it as long as the movie's okay and the story's good. Like it wouldn't take long for me to get over that aesthetic.
Got it.
I'll probably go see it in theaters. I've gone and seen most recent Marvel movies in theaters. I'm not feeling the burnout that Kyle is of Marvel. It's not the same hype as Endgame for sure, but I'll probably go see it. And especially I'm one of the few people, or not few people, but I'm one of the people that likes Pedro Pascal. Like, I enjoy watching him act.
like Pedro Pascal too. I don't think he needs to be in everything. And I just don't buy him as Reed Richards. Maybe the movie will change my opinion on that, though.
Yeah, so the end of Thunderbolts did hype me for Fantastic Four. So I haven't seen these leaks. I saw one leak, but it was a long time ago.
When I say leaks, it's like still images.
Oh.
It's not like a story leak or anything.
I saw a story leak.
Oh, yeah, not good.
While
Don't
ago.
tell me.
And even the little bit I spoiled, if it's true, interested me more in the film. So yeah, I'll probably go see it. I don't know about day one.
I was more turned off by the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom than I was over anything else. Like Fantastic Four, I wasn't never really against, but I still think that Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom is just weird. And I know they're going to come up with some hopefully elegant solution as to why that's a thing. But that to me feels more like grasping at straws than anything else.
It's playing at The Sims. All right,
Yeah.
like if you followed it from the beginning, you get to see Robert Downey Jr. back on the big screen in the movie franchise that you want. It doesn't give you you don't project long term and go, yes, it's all exactly what we want.
It's all come together.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I have seen every Marvel film in the last few years in theaters. I don't think I've missed any. And I did enjoy Thunderbolts, and I thought it was
Did you see the Marvels?
I did.
That's the one I skipped.
Okay. I've seen them all. Miss Marvel, not Miss, whatever
The
the
Marvels.
Marvels.
Last one which was a really good experience, but the last one I saw in theaters was Guardians 3.
Yep.
And I missed a bunch before that too, leading up to that.
Did that one make a bunch of money?
Guardians, yeah.
It did.
Yeah, that's a beloved franchise still, and that movie was very well received. But Guardians, so I went back for the Guardians, not necessarily for Marvel, to be honest with you, because before that I missed a bunch of them too. Like I still to this day have never seen Ant-Man 3.
You don't need to.
Especially now.
And now it's pointless.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I missed on like 90% of the shows. The last TV show I watched, Daredevil, but before that was Vision.
Jesus.
WandaVision.
You didn't even watch the Captain America one?
Which did Captain America come out after?
Yeah.
I watched Captain America. So I
was
watched
gonna say, I thought you
WandaVision,
watched that
Captain
one.
America.
Did you watch Loki?
I didn't
No,
watch
he didn't
Loki.
watch Loki.
Even though we recommend.
And I watched like the highlights of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
like just like the high points.
I watched Hawkeye as well. I stopped at like She-Hulk, and then it started getting stupid.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, I'm
I
done.
did watch She-Hulk.
You did watch She-Hulk. I
because
just remember
my
that.
wife got really into it.
Yeah.
And we were both so disappointed
By
with
the
the
ending?
ending that it kind of ruined everything for us.
It's like, oh, we wrote ourselves to the corner. Let me hop through the Hulu
Yeah.
selection or whatever it was on.
It was
Disney.
just
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
like, I know that that's her thing. She's a fourth wall breaker, but it was so completely take you out of it that it just ruined it for you. Like, she literally hopped out of the TV and was like flipping through Disney Plus. And it wasn't a comedy. Like, I mean, it's comedy, but it wasn't like a joke. That's like her superpower. And I'm like, that's not cool. Like, that's not like
You're the Hulk. You
Deadpool-
don't have to be anything more than the freaking Hulk.
like Deadpool does the fourth wall break so much better. The
Yeah.
way they handle it.
Oh,
Okay,
did
I
you
did
saw-
see that
you-
in
I
the
was gonna
theater as
say you
well. I
did,
saw that
yeah.
with you guys.
That one's a banger too.
That one was good.
Because they actually have decent writing teams on those. I don't know. Like, I'm excited to go. I'm still on the Marvel train. I enjoy the movies enough. Thunderbolts was enjoyable. I'm excited to see where Fantastic Four goes. I am kind of excited to see Doctor Doom as Robert Downey Jr. because I am falling into that category of I'm a simp for him. I think he's one of the best actors of our generation. So we'll see how it all ties together, but it better be a damn good excuse. And I also am with Kyle. I don't really like that retro look. And I kind of want it to get disastrous quick. I don't want this. I don't want a whole movie of some alternate universe being happy-go-lucky, nothing's going on, and then everything bad happens in the last 3 minutes, and then we have to wait 3-4 years for another update. On
I mean, with
That would be bad.
Galactus and Silver Surfer being in it, like that does present some pretty crazy shit. I would be interested to see how.
Yeah, but like, what are they in? Are they in it for like some kind of council, and then they're a 2-minute clip, and then that's it.
No, they're gonna eat the planet.
I think that they're gonna. I think the Fantastic Four they're gonna lose.
Well, you didn't watch Thunderbolts, right?
no,
You did.
Yeah,
You saw the end credits.
yeah.
I think the
lose.
Fantastic. I could be. Yeah, I was gonna. I didn't actually see this. I was just contemplating this. I think the Fantastic Four is gonna lose, and somehow they're gonna retreat into the MCU because the bigger threat is coming, and they're like looking for helpers. Because Reed Richards is, as a last ditch effort, is going to design some kind of fucking machine that allows them to universe jump because he's just that intelligent or whatever.
I have the power of my cell phone. He takes like all the parts out of it and builds a time warp. Huh?
I would argue that Reed Richards is probably smarter than Tony Stark, at least in the comics. Maybe not in the MCU because the MCU kind of boosted Tony Stark's intelligence a little bit. Not much, but a little bit more than the comics. But Reed Richards, which is why also it was such a joke in Doctor
Smartest man
Strange. But Reed Richards is as far as humans go, he's probably number one intelligence wise. Then maybe close seconds Doctor Doom, and then probably Tony Stark.
Well, we're gonna see. I'm excited for it. It'll be interesting enough, but I do feel like it's interesting what their marketing strategy is because they are drip feeding
Images.
these images, and I'm seeing them at rates I've never seen for other Marvel films, and it's like,
There was a
are
lot
they
of leaks
nervous
for-
about after this post?
There were a
Thunderbolts?
lot of leaks for both Infinity War and Endgame, though.
Well, that's totally. I mean, that was like their peak, 100%. We're in the lull period, right? And I just feel like I'm being exposed to a lot of stuff. So,
You know why you would like Reed Richards?
because he's useful,
Brings value.
brings value to a team,
There's going to be one reason.
intelligent.
He denied Spider-Man being on the team.
Yes, because he's a child.
When Spider-Man first got his powers, he went to the Fantastic Four, and they were like, "Look, your powers are cool, but you're a kid. Like we cannot put you in danger. You can't join the Fantastic Four." And then that's when Spider-Man became like a street level hero because he was like, "Well, fine, I'll just patrol my
I want to
neighborhood."
be my
then."
neighborhood.
Yeah, and that's when he became the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hell yes. Way to go, Reed. Okay, next topic here I want to dive into. This one maybe is personal. I don't know what your guys' opinion is on this, but it's. I feel like it's weird. A couple episodes ago, we did this whole thing about how many great games are being received over a wide set of genres and developers. about how many games are going to be competing for Game of the Year this year, and
Uh-huh.
a lot of just really people are having a lot of fun gaming. I'm like missing this boat. I am finding myself playing next to no video games. The games that I do play, I mean, maybe I'm getting older. Obviously, I am, but I'm not playing any of these new games. I'm not hyped massively for any game that's coming out. Like, I'm in this weird lull right now where it seems like all these games are popping off and people are really enjoying these games, but I'm like, I have no motivation to game right now. I don't know if it's like the death of hype. I don't know if
That happens to me every now and then.
you know.
I go in in like waves though.
Do you feel like, are you guys feeling that lull right now at all?
I would say like Kyle, I go in and out of it. Like, for example, Expedition 33, I would have not even played that. I was not hyped for it. I had no clue it existed until, I saw the internet like it, and then my friend liked it, and then I gave it a shot. So before that game, though, there wasn't really anything I was looking forward to, and even now, there's not really anything I'm looking forward to besides
looking forward to Doom.
Ghost of Yotei. So I guess, but I also feel like your subsection of games is a lot more
Narrow.
than me and Kyle's.
You have a very specific taste, and
Sure.
you're kind of unyielding.
Like the hype you felt for Doom, or not Doom, Diablo, or Path of Exiles. Me and Kyle didn't reach
I
your
don't
levels.
relate.
So you guys never get your peaks and troughs aren't the same as mine, but your baseline is higher in terms of
Yeah.
enjoyment.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can get hyped for a lot of different genres. Right now I'm not. I literally every single night I've been playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO.
You told us that you got back into
I don't know why. I just one day decided to play it again, and I got super back into it, and I'm having so much
What
fun.
level are you right now?
Like 25.
Okay,
something like
damn.
that. Out of like there's like 100 levels
Yeah.
now, which there wasn't back when I used to play. They
Just say, wasn't it 60?
they're still doing update, and it's still pretty active. I was surprised. There's
Love that.
there's like 100 people playing easily each map I get into
Damn.
on the server I'm in. But I'm having so much fun, and they did some updates to where like you can go through the whole thing solo now. There are still game modes you could play that require more group effort, of course, but like to go through the campaigns of the characters, you don't have to be with anybody. Whereas before, it was very, very difficult, next to impossible to play it solo. Like it was geared towards playing with friends.
This is Knights of the Old Republic, right?
No, this is Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO.
Is this the one we played?
Yeah, for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is that one. And it's free to play right now. It does have a subscriber option, which is it's like $14 a month. That gives you more freedom to customization and some perks like offline skill increases, like when you like if you're a subscriber and you log out when you're in a cantina, then like your XP will not just forever, but it'll actually raise to a cap and then stop, versus it won't do that if you're not a subscriber. So just things like that. But it's still very easy to go through that without having to pay. They give you pretty much just as many options. But I'm having a lot. So that I'm not playing anything new right now. That's what I've been playing.
I know. I find myself playing
Yeah.
old ass games too.
Really
Yeah.
old, like 20 years old.
I know.
Even Star Wars: The Old Republic is from 2012 now. It's crazy.
Dude, I remember when that game came out.
It was like at that point,
I feel
like
like
one
we
of the
played
most
it more than
expensive
one.
video
It
games.
wasn't like more than a month, but I feel like it was more than one night we played it.
So I know how far we went.
We got to like level
We
12.
did the Jedi Knight story, and we
My brother played with us, right?
the three of us played, and we just barely finished the like introductory planet, and then you weren't a huge fan of it, because the gameplay is. There were things about it that just weren't as fluid as like Guild Wars and stuff, and this came out at like almost the same time as
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2, so you were kind of like, I don't want to spend any time on this because I'm
Especially
so
when
into
you're in MMOs.
you know.
I love that it's still alive though. That's cool.
It has a really big community. So they're
love
still doing.
that.
They just had an update like a week ago.
Because people, when they put that many hours into it, seeing the servers go down is like a very sad day.
I don't think that BioWare has anything to do with it anymore, though.
They transferred ownership, huh?
Yeah,
Whoa. Huh.
because
I
I
might have
don't
to check
see
this
I don't
out.
see their when I log in anymore. I don't see their logo anywhere. I think they transferred ownership to Broadsword Online.
Your PC would be able to run this.
Yeah. Came out same year as Guild Wars 2.
Yeah,
When did you buy your PC? 2018?
Ye-
17?
So probably 2016, but the motherboard and graphics card are newer in it than
Yeah.
when I originally bought it.
Yeah, I'm judging it based on the
you know why you would like it, Dylan?
Why?
Because
It's
it's an
Star Wars.
MMO that's heavily story driven.
Yeah.
There's romance options. There's like there's 8 different campaigns because there's 8 different classes. Each class has its own unique campaign. You don't share anything. Like and then there's like 5 expansions that have come out
Wow.
as well. The expansions are shared like every class does the expand. But like as far as the main story goes, each class, so there's Trooper, Bounty Hunter, okay, so there's Republic and Empire. So Republic, there's Trooper, Smuggler, Jedi Knight, Jedi Consular. And then for Empire, there's Sith Warrior, Sith Inquisitor, Sith, what is the Bounty Hunter, and then like Sith Officer or something like that. And each one has like a really well developed, fleshed out campaign that takes like a bunch of hours to do.
Huh.
So you could actually play it 8 times, get a different experience all 8 times. There's a lot of bang for your buck if you're into that kind of thing.
And it's free to play, right?
Free to play. No. Like I said, you do get more bonus. Like if you're not a subscriber, then you can't customize your companions. Things like that. They just are what they are. But like if you are like they always are what they are. But like you can customize their looks.
Oh,
if you're-
okay.
which I know is very important.
Wow.
So-
That's
to this
that's
guy.
him.
That is absolutely worth the $15 a month.
Are you paying the 15?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
I've been thinking about
It's
it.
worth it. Like
been thinking
honestly, when you're playing a game like that, coming from this is a crazy take. Coming from a person who played Guild Wars 2, which didn't have a subscription model, and a lot of praise to them for not having a subscription model. You do idolize things like World of Warcraft, where you're like, damn, I really wish we had that much more content. Because when you're like think about you with Zenless Zone Zero.
Yeah.
Like
No, I was about
you're
to say.
waiting for content gaps. You're like, damn it, Versus Blizzard, they'll huck 1,000 hours of gameplay at you a quarter. That you're feeling like you gotta. That's why people joke it's like a full-time job, because it is. If you're really into that game, you have so much content that you can go in and explore. Versus, Zenless Zone Zero, it's like, it's nice you're not paying 15, 10, whatever the subscriptions are these days, for that. But damn it, once you finish everything, you're like, shit. And that's what
Now
Guild
it's a
Wars 2
drought.
has gotten to. It's like, you burn through the content. It's like, okay, I'll see you guys next quarter when they have their patch, and then do another, 80 hours worth of game. And I mean, these people who play MMOs, 80 hours, like, that's what they eat for lunch. They just burn through these things.
on
I do
3 days
think-
in.
Now that you've had some years to step a little bit away from Guild Wars 2, and all that, I do think that we might have a really good time if you like thought about jumping, because it's still an MMO and there's still a lot of things about it that I know that you would like. I do think the 3 of us could have a lot of fun playing that game.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see if I can get my old account.
I
would have had the
giving up.
same. You did?
Yeah, I ended up just creating a whole new.
I was gonna say I have the same email, so I might be able to find it.
I do
I'll have to
remember
find
one
it.
of your complaints, and this is like I
It's
said.
been
There's
so
8
long.
different
I
classes.
remember the world, but
I do remember one of your complaints was some of the early skills. You said the movement wasn't fluid, and you weren't a fan of it. Like it was like click attack, and you were so used to like hyper movement in Guild Wars 2, where you're constantly like
It's
as
fluid.
an
It's all
element, it's a
fluid,
lot
yeah.
more fluid. And then this was more like skill spamming without a lot of movement. And I do remember you were like saying
It's like Guild Wars 1.
I do remember you feeling
Probably.
like at that time you were like, I'm so used to this other way of playing that this just isn't drawing me in.
I bet you though they have made some kind of upgrade over the last 15
I never
years.
cared enough about the gameplay to even notice if I was always just in it for the story.
Well, that's the problem. Like especially in 2012, because Guild Wars 2 is. I'll stand on any soapbox and say that they have the best combat I've ever played in my life, and I know that that's a super subjective take, but for me it's true. And we were so fucking spoiled. So spoiled. I mean, some of these ARPGs are getting really close.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're getting close in terms of their gameplay. But I still think there's certain parts of Guild Wars 2 that I'm like, oof. But Path of Exile 2 and even some parts of Diablo 4, like when I started getting some of the item requirements, I just actually went back and found all my clips from Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I should post them to our stuff, but oh my god, dude. I was getting such an erection just watching. I'm like, dude, this is so good. Do I need to go back to Diablo 4?
Is it calling me?
I do remember also another complaint you had, which is not a thing anymore because there's complete customization now, was there's no interface editor.
Oh, you can do that now?
Now you can move anything wherever you want.
GOAT game. That honestly adds not even 1 point, 3 points to the overall score. Yeah. That should be part of any game.
You would think.
You'd think. If I don't want my map here, like we live in the world now where there's different screen like monitors. In Call of Duty, I have a super ultra wide monitor. When I look to when a UAV's on, I have to do this. Ready? Camera?
It's completely.
It's way over there. I have to do a whole head turn, Like, allow me to drag that to where it's more center so I could just maybe, look up to the top of my screen because the vertical space is the same. So, but it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
If we did play, which we got to get through Guild Wars and do some other stuff first, but if we did get into Star Wars: The Old Republic, I would say we should try and not play as like a Sith or Jedi. I feel like we should do like bounty hunter or trooper.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that might be more fun because because I played through a lot of them now. They've done a lot of things to entice people to want to play something other than a Jedi or Sith, so they have the more interesting and fun skills actually.
No shit.
What was the Jedi Counselor? What's that?
Consular.
Consular?
So there's the Jedi Guardian, a Jedi Knight, and a Jedi Consular. A Consular is more like they're more in touch with the Force, and
so it's like the Force
peacemakers, and they're like, so they're going to be a lot more like Force skills and like wizard, if you will. Whereas a Jedi Knight is more sword, like warrior. And they still have Force skills, but it's a lot more lightsaber stuff. Versus Jedi Consular is a lot more like range shit.
Just Force.
I played through back in the day. I played through all the stories, and the Jedi Consular story was probably the most boring because it was so like you would not like it because it's the exact kind of thing you
dialogue. You have to unskip.
Yeah, like it just like and I never played as like dark side. I only played as light side. But it was so like, we are the mediators. We are Jedi Consulars, and we only battle when we had like. I was like, no, I don't care if I'm a Jedi. I'm getting in there and I'm fighting.
Yeah,
like that's another thing too. Each campaign has a light side and dark side story too.
Oh,
so like there's a lot of different ways.
You could start as a dark side.
You can start as you could start as dark side and turn into a light side, and vice versa. So like, there's a lot of ways to play it.
I don't know if the mission's the same or not, but I remember the training mission, the first one that you do, right, when you boot up your character.
Yeah.
It was like an online battlefield, right, that you were going on. And
like, yeah, that's still, because I'm actually playing through the Jedi Knight storyline right now. It still opens up the exact same way. You're a Padawan. You've been a Padawan for like 18 years or whatever, and you're supposed to be like in your 20s or whatever. And you go into the Tython, which is like where the Jedi Council is right now, because The one on Coruscant was destroyed by the Sith, so this is like their backup one for now. You open up the game and it's like getting attacked by like the locals and they're like, I know you're just a Padawan, but we need all hands on deck, and you don't have a lightsaber yet. You got like this practice saber and you're like fighting people with it. And then you do like these heroic deeds on that planet and you eventually get knighted as a Jedi Knight, and they give you like a Padawan to train. And then that's like the intro. And then the story starts from there. And that's like, I don't know, like depending on how into it you get, that's like 3 to 5 hours around there.
I remember it being like an all-nighter thing just to get to the hub town.
Yeah,
to like party.
The hub area is not even till you literally go through all that intro stuff, and you can speed run it, or you can like, there's a ton of side content that you can get bogged down if you're not careful.
You said they're separate campaigns, but then how do you play multiplayer?
Well, it's an MMO, so it's all multiplayer. They have PvP, and then they also have like,
but like, would we be able to do our campaigns?
We would literally
with each other.
If we're in a party, our campaign if we're in the same point,
same quest,
progresses together.
But then, how does it tell the story?
Like, you'd all watch the cutscenes at the same time.
Is it? But they go to the same places, even though the story is different. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like, so if you start doing dark side stuff,
yeah,
and then so if there's like if someone's like further along than somebody else or whatever, then what it does is it just follows the story of whoever the host is.
Okay.
But if you're all following the same path, then your story progresses together. But like, for instance, if you guys did like Jedi Knight and I come back and just to play with you guys, nothing I do, like, it doesn't affect anything with me other than I just be replaying. The party leader, whoever the party leader is.
So then what if one person want to be good, one person bad?
Then you would just play through things twice.
Okay.
Because you would have different quests.
Yeah.
And even though it might be the same mission, but you just have the light version and the dark version.
That might actually even, like, if you're like a completionist, that might even be more fun to do it that way, because then you can experience all sides of everything.
That's what we call a masochist.
But it also is like one of those things, like I said, it's fun to play with friends, but they've made it to where now you can go through the whole thing solo if you really wanted to. Like, I haven't talked to one person since I started playing it again.
This is the game.
9 out of 10 on Steam.
I wonder what the active player count is right now.
So it came out before Guild Wars 2. Wow.
Yeah. But we didn't play it till later on.
I was going to say, it was much later on.
We played it like 2013.
Yeah.
Because I played it on my laptop, and it wasn't a gaming laptop.
Oh, chug-a-lug-a-lug.
And then I went back and played it again after I had bought your friend's old PC.
Ooh.
And then we played a little bit on that.
How many hours do you think across all your accounts do you have?
Nothing compared to like a true player, but I definitely have at least a couple hundred. You trying to see if you remember your...
I'm going to try.
Try and log in.
What's up, Cole? Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Cole.
So try and log in while you guys talk.
So going back while he tries to do this, Kyle, do you feel the burnout of games at all, like he was talking about? Like, I know you said, so you're playing this one.
I go in waves. It also depends on what I'm into at the time. Like, I got really into watching The Rookie with my wife, and when I was doing that, I wasn't playing anything. So like if I get into like a TV show or, then I also if I'm haven't played anything new in a while, I get burnout. I'm definitely not how I used to be, where I could just play games all the time, never stop.
Like, I feel like, at least to piggyback off what Billy was saying, I feel like when I was younger, I used to be more consistently hyped about some game.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm much more picky about the game and the developer. So now it's like, if when Witcher 4 or the next Cyberpunk come out, I know I'm going to be hyped for those.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hyped for From Software.
When I was young, I didn't even look at the developer.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, that game looks cool. I'm hyped. Like, I never paid attention to any of that.
But now we're smart.
I don't even remember, like, when I was a kid, I don't remember like games that I would get hyped for. I just remember them somehow just being out and then buying them and
Whoa,
playing them.
Halo.
I would literally, I would go to GameStop and I would just look through their used games, like this game looks cool. So I wouldn't even like be like research anything.
I don't know if I told this story on here about my deal at GameStop.
I think you did. But
Yeah, I
Say
would.
it again.
So the manager there liked me and liked my mom,
yeah.
and he would let us, as long as I returned the game within 7 days, I could keep returning the game and take out another game. And so I beat so many games, and I was like, I have to beat it in 7 days. And so, but that's how I originally found Mass Effect. I found it after the fact because I was looking for a game, and I think he recommended, or one of the employees was like, what kind of game you like? And I was like, oh, I guess sci-fi. And they're like, well, have you ever played this one, Mass Effect? And I was like, no, I'll try it out.
Give
And
it a shot.
oh my God.
You know, I actually, so my copy of Skyrim that I got, the very first copy I got it for free because there was a place near my house called DV Depot, and they also let you rent video games, and it was $1 a night was the price. And I saw they had Skyrim, and I was like, oh, this everyone's talking about this game, I'll get it. I got it. The day after I rented it, the police came and shut that place down because they were like pirating movies and like doing illegal stuff in the back. And then I just got Skyrim for free because of that.
And you just owned it.
And I just owned it at that point.
Cole says using your
Cole-
mom as bait to get games from GameStop. Is this what I'm hearing?
I was too young to even realize.
But that's what was happening.
Yeah. Now looking back, I'm like, I bet he had a crush on my mom.
Oh, he 100% did.
Yeah. But at the time, I was like, oh, sick. Oh, he likes me. I'm cool because I'm cool.
That's actually that place I was telling you about that went out of business because they're doing illegal stuff. That was actually the same place that you bought a PS2.
That
Used-
place.
That place.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's where I got. That's where I got Skyrim for free.
No shit.
Right
Not
time,
for
right
free.
place.
I paid $1 for it.
Kind of was a shithole.
Right time, right place. Were you able to log in?
No.
No.
It didn't send me a link, so
Must have had a different email.
definitely didn't, but I think it's literally been so long that like
Maybe
They
they-
started deleting unused accounts.
Yeah.
probably. And we're talking 12, 13 years ago.
There's all these like kind of, I don't know, they're like memes, but like Star Wars: The Old Republic has some of the best cinematics like ever created for games, and the game is nothing like the cinematics.
I've
And so
seen some of the cinematics.
People always kind of joke on it because the cinematics are just like these crazy, over the top, incredible Star
fight
Wars stuff.
choreography,
Like yeah, amazing stuff, and the game just is nothing like that at all.
game is like
Which is kind of like Diablo. The cinematics for Diablo are
1,000,000%.
nothing like the game. But
Even
like,
like World of Warcraft, those are literal movies.
yeah, that's how it is too.
Yeah.
For this, so it's just kind of funny.
At least they do that. I mean, Guild Wars, their shit sucks. They put no money into their marketing budget. It's like, it's so lame. They'll be like just landscape shots and oh wow, and that's it.
in the land of Tyrael.
Yeah.
You can find many fascinating creatures.
Hurry,
They had a
get
they
to
had
Kryta.
yeah, no shit. They had an ad in their in the Summer Games Fest for like a 30-second ad or whatever, and I guess it was like $250,000. It's a big deal for Guild Wars 2's budget at this point, especially since they're all working on this undisclosed project right
Yeah.
now. And they just like reused an old trailer. They didn't even build a new one. They just
I was just gonna add, like, has
It's
Guild Wars
lame.
ever had like a cinematic?
like,
I don't think I've ever seen a Guild Wars cinematic.
dude, they are so bad at hyping up their own game. They are like the world's worst. There's memes inside the Guild Wars 2 community because you'll see Guild Wars 2 ads on like the wrapper of like random bubble gum in Japan. And you're like, they'll do shit like that, and you're like, what the fuck is this marketing? Like, who's signing? It's like the most obscure shit you've ever seen.
that works.
But they'll hype it up that way, and you're like, what is the marketing budget for this? What are we doing?
Do you think, Billy, if you weren't playing Guild Wars, do you think you'd be more hyped about games? Because that's the thought I've had
I'm
too.
not playing it at all. I haven't played Guild Wars 2 or
Are you
Guild
playing
Wars.
anything?
No,
No?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even and I would be. I'm mildly interested in Dune Awakening. But I don't know. I'm not really tracking that. By all accounts, I should be really into Night Rain. And I see the clips on Night Rain and I'm like,
But here's the
I haven't really been too hyped on that ever, though.
I don't
I
think
wasn't either,
by
but the
all
gameplay
accounts,
looks
though.
fun.
I don't think by all accounts with that one. Because all three of us are not that hyped for it. That means there's some reason, and I know what it is. It's Bandai Namco.
Why?
It's not From Software. It is, but it's not. It's
still developed by From Software.
you're being
Bandai Namco has always been their publisher.
holding a gun up to him so you make this fucking game.
game.
And you will make you rich.
Star Wars: The Old Republic has an active player count of anywhere from 50 to 60,000 players a day,
That's pretty good.
and about 13 million registered
Damn.
users.
Well,
That's pretty good.
That game had a lot of struggles at launch. Actually, the fact that they've been able to maintain and hold on that long and still have, I think that's a pretty good recovery. Nothing like Cyberpunk or not like that, but it was generally pretty mixed at launch. I know that a lot of people were disappointed in it. It didn't make money for a long time because it had some crazy like $500 million like budget that they were like, oh, we are going to be in the hole for a while on this one. So I think it's made it all back, and there's still. So I'd like to see that still supported. And I'm also just a simp for Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's a fun universe. Cole says he hadn't touched a game in 2 and 3 months either. I mean, I feel the same way. I'm sitting here, I'm playing old-ass fucking games. And again, I'm watching Night Rain, I'm seeing Expedition 33, and I just look at him and go like...
Well, that's not your... I don't think Expedition 33 is going to be your cup of tea. Night Rain, my thing with that, of why at least... I don't know about you guys. I don't go to From Software for that experience. And so that's why I don't care about it. Like... Because I know how weird their co-op is anyways.
But
like
you never really got, like, obsessed into Elden Ring, though.
Yeah, I did.
Not really.
Maybe compared to you.
I bought a shirt.
But did you, though?
I beat Millennia third try or second try.
Oh,
Can't remember.
he's
Yeah.
lied to us forever.
No.
Yeah, it was the third now.
I don't remember. Was it the second or the third? I don't remember.
You said the second,
Then it was the second.
but now the truth comes out.
It was the second. I could pull up proof. But I was into Elden Ring.
I think that he's more of a fan of Elden Ring than you are, simply because he beat the DLC.
Yeah.
You were never a true fan.
That's a,
You never-
That's
Hey,
got a
you
good
never,
point.
you never
I never
100%
even
did the
100%
game.
of the game. That's right. I only beat the base game like fucking 14 times, but
I know you did it.
it doesn't count.
And you did it in anticipation for the DLC.
And I never even
And then
did
never
it.
And then by the time DLC came out, so much time had passed that your hype faded away, and you were too
I
into
did
Guild Wars.
so much prep.
And
That's
then-
what it was.
So then to further that, right? So I already know that I go to From Software for a single player experience with some co-op that I want better implemented than what it is right now, but whatever. But then on top of that, when it comes out to hear how horrendous the single player experience was, like to where they said like obviously it's not meant to be played single player, but then people who tried to play it single player said, yeah, it's
For
like,
Night Rain?
yeah. And like to the point where From Software said they had to patch it and try and fix it. I don't know if they are, but that turned me off even more.
I don't think
was
it
like,
was
I don't-
ever meant to be played solo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they marketed it as that.
Yeah, but if it's a feature that you're offering and it's busted, people
Like,
can
do they
find a
have
way.
solos?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even really know what.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any gameplay because it's just not on my radar.
The cycle begins, you start up, and then you have to kill. It's like a boss rush. You have to do as much shit as you can in like the 40 minutes before everything gets to a certain point and you end up wiping.
Gotcha.
And each run takes somewhere like between 40 minutes an hour or something like that.
I have
And they're
never
long.
played a From Software game for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
That has never once
And so I
been-
think that's why, at least me, that's why I don't care about it.
the multiplayer's fun. Like when you're playing just with a couple buddies, like and you're experiencing. But like,
Multiplayer is always fun.
but it's not like I'm like.
It could be a shitty game.
I don't think I've, other than wanting to do it to get to like Moog's Island, I don't think I've ever done intentionally like a PvP match.
Yeah.
Only time I ever do it is that 3-fingered shit to get
get there
Moog's-
early.
To get there early to do that farm.
That's the only reason. Like I just to have it unlocked. There's no other reason that I do PvP. So only 3 times every playthrough do I do PvP.
Well, part of the issue with Night Rain with me is I look at it and the comment reminds me of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the sense that I feel like you're swinging paper. When I watch these guys, they fight these bosses and the boss's health goes. It's just. That's not Elden Ring to me. Elden Ring is I build my character and maybe I change this or I unlock this new sword or I get an upgrade to my weapon and I fucking see the difference on the health bar. It's chunking, And that's what makes each fight feel approachable. It doesn't feel like this 5-10 minute slog fest where you're like, oh my God, what are we doing? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know why. Well, I do know why I didn't play the DLC. I played the DLC, I just never finished it.
At that time, I do remember you had just gotten really back into Guild Wars.
100%. That's a huge
and
part
it was, at that point, you were kind of like, I don't feel like playing anything that's not Guild Wars right now.
Well, I felt like I was doing the Elden Ring DLC simply for the fact of just doing it.
Yeah.
I put 10 hours into it the first night, and I'm like, am I just rushing this just to say that I played it? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this. Like,
I
literally couldn't care.
No.
I was like fighting these bosses. I'm like, this is lame. See ya. Bounce.
And I'm not.
And I had I know. Yeah, but how many times did you play through the game?
Like 6.
Oh, that's way more than I thought you did. I thought you beat it like once and then like.
No, I played. I stopped right before what they said was the recommended. Like once you kind of get point of no return, because I wanted to have my 7th playthrough be with the DLC, but then the DLC. I think I created a new character or something by that time.
I played through.
Or did
I probably played through Elden Ring more than both of you. I did
probably
like 6 or 7 on console, and then I did like 5 on PC.
I could tell you how many hours.
You have more hours, but I'm talking about just straight playthroughs, like beginning to end, beating the game. Because you did.
I have probably like 10.
Okay, you probably have me beat then, actually.
Because I have like, I think I have about 10. Because I have 8 on my 8 or 9 on my 8 on my main guy, and then I had at least 2 others. Let me tell you right now.
You did things that I couldn't even fathom though playing Elden Ring,
Max level,
farming for 10 hours a day. Like I have never once farmed for more than like 10 minutes.
I have 230 hours.
Can't. That's actually kind of right in line, I think, with me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's
what you have.
Because I have.
Although you have to add about 15 hours that got corrupted.
I am close to 200 hours on console, and then I don't even on PC, maybe like 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to see if through the PlayStation app I can see.
Didn't we look up that you couldn't see it on PlayStation?
You could see your hours played.
You can see your hours.
I don't know if you can do it on the app.
Is it?
Yeah, you can. I'm looking at it right now. Baldur's Gate 3, 271 hours.
Where do you see that?
Literally on the front page.
Well, so
what's your
on my front page? It shows just my 3 recent play games. I can't find when I go to search in like my games library.
If you click on it, and then you scroll down, it's not there.
See? Because Baldur's Gate 3, I have 264 hours.
Oh my God, you have that many hours?
Mm-hmm. Zenless Zone 0, 292.
You're surprised
That's low.
You're surprised by him having 260 hours and I have 271. But
you played through with your wife, and so you had that experience.
But I'm alone.
He played alone.
My top 3.
That's a sad 260 hours.
My 3 recently played games right now is Mass Effect Andromeda, Baldur's Gate 3, and Skyrim.
How many on Skyrim?
Oh, only like 30 hours on this because this doesn't take into account that's a PS3 game.
Oh,
like this is like
it's not
special
linked to
edition.
your PlayStation account.
No, it is, but it's a different game. This is Skyrim Special Edition. It's not like
Even though it's all Skyrim, like the PS3 Skyrim is like different.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any way to see it. There should be for moments like this.
Yep, looks like you can only go on. It's only the most recent 3 that the app shows. That's kind of stupid. I would be interested to see how many I played. See if I'm a real fan or not.
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's some people that have
hours.
I think
1,000
I am.
hours minimum. Have you seen like people that are like, I have 1,000 hours in this game and I just now discovered this, and it's like, and I'm like,
Something simple.
yeah, I'm like,
Week
shut the
2,
hell
I
up.
started to see. I've been playing for 600 hours. You're like, so you're averaging 18 hours a day, like I did for 2 weeks. I doubt that.
Yes.
What are you? Are you that? You're posting online, so you're like, no.
You don't work. You
Oh,
don't
and you're
sleep.
running the one build that's OP as fuck. You didn't spend. Yeah, get out of here.
Shut the heck up.
Shut the fuck up. All right, well, Dylan, where can people find us?
They can find us right here on
Right now.
YouTube every Saturday,
Oh God, no! Watch it.
Saturday.
every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time,
Live in the studio.
live in
Where
the
the
studio.
update is, we still have a Coke.
We still have
Where's
a
the
Coke.
update?
This is Guild Wars 2.
It does say that.
This Kleenex box.
Is a fan.
It's actually the
So-
Mass Effect Kleenex box.
Yeah, you didn't know it's actually from.
It's in Shepard's room by his bed.
Yeah.
It's
in
actually
the
limited
on the
edition.
ground in the corner.
It's
You
the
don't.
rag he
That's
used
officially
after he-
from the game.
Yeah.
It's the rag he used after stroking it to his true love, Dally.
These Avengers cups we stopped drinking out of.
Yeah, we used to drink out of those all the time.
It was not enough water. I need a half gallon, apparently.
But yeah, come check us out on Tuesdays where we live stream. And then on Thursdays, we live stream games. And right now we're playing Guild Wars 1. We're about how far through, you think, Billy?
We're probably about 15 hours through, and the base campaign is probably roughly 40 hours.
Boom.
So
So
a
you
little
can
less
still
than
join in pretty early on us playing. But come check us out. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Smash that like.
This is not 2017 anymore.
No.
I think we should just end it.
I am. I'm going to click it.
Okay. Good.
But yeah. They
With a
can-
bad KD, you don't get the dub. And the dub,
You're going to end it on that? Depressing?
no. It's telling you what happens when you don't. That's why you do need to get the dub with a good KD.
With a good KD.
What do you get?
You get the dub.